Welcome to A Canadian Exploring. On this video we're going to take my motorcycle for a ride and try out some of my new camera mounts. This will be a relatively short ride, but it's one of my favorites. It's about 60 kilometers long, following the Backroads by Lake Okanagan, and then crossing over at Lake Country and riding along Wood Lake to Kelowna Lake and then back to Vernon. I'll speed through most of the ride as it's a winding road that starts to look the same after a few kilometers, but it is a blast to ride. Paddle Wheel Park is the first park we will pass on the right side of the road. It sits on Lake Okanagan and has many features as well as a sandy beach. More on that later in a different video. Now for what I call the death road. It doesn't look bad from the front camera view, but the helmet cam shows that this road is barely wide enough for a car, and in some places pickup trucks have to go on the shoulder to get by each other. Let's watch this part again from the helmet point of view. I once met a motorhome pulling a boat on this road, right on one of the corners. Luckily I was on my motorcycle so we didn't hit each other, but it was still close. With this view we can see that the car is a lot closer than it looks in the other camera view. Now on to Bench Road, which has more patches than any other road I've ever seen. How many times can you patch a road before it would have been cheaper just to repave it in the first place? From this road you get a beautiful view of Vernon, especially at night. If you're a bird watcher, there are a few owl nests along the wooded side of the road right next to Carlson Park. But beware, the city uses this park to test above ground irrigation systems, i.e. sprinklers, and they come on without warning. This right-hand turn onto Common Age Road is my least favorite. It's a weird angle to lead the bike while looking to your left and starting uphill. You can see that once you get out of the valley, the foliage turns to more of a deserty vibe with some wild sage and even the odd tumbleweed. The top of these hills are littered with these small turtle-filled ponds. You may even get to see some in crossing. To my right is Predator Ridge Golf Course, which is home to two completely different golf courses, each one designed by a different legendary golf course architect. They have a resort and many high-end homes, some of which are owned by NHL hockey players and other famous people from around the world, so you never know who you might bump into. We are heading back to the foresty area and pass under a large pond. The corners on the stretch of road can be tighter than they appear and have been known to swallow up a car from time to time. This section of road is a favorite for supercars and motorcycles alike. I wonder how many Corvettes we'll see on this trip. This is the start of Cars Landing and the start of the countless wineries in this area. 50th Parallel Estates is on this end of Cars Landing, which has been open for a few years now, and has some pretty good wine if you want to check it out. Corvette number 2. This road has quite the mix of traffic: wine tours, sports cars, motorcycles, Sunday drivers, and police, of course. This part of the road winds through houses, but it is next to Lake Okanagan and does have some spectacular views if you want to pull over and take a look. Cope Regional Park is located along Cars Landing Road and has an interesting old heritage house located on the property. It is well worth a stop to take a look. We will be taking a look at it in a later video. We're going to turn right onto Okanagan Center Road, but if you go left you'll find Peak Cellars and Intrigue Wineries, which is home to the famously labeled I Do sparkling wine. Along this road you will come to a little known town called Okanagan Center. It's mostly houses and a little coffee shop, but if you turn left at the stop sign you can get to Grey Monk Winery, which has some amazing wines, and I strongly recommend going there. If you're looking for a vacation rental but don't want the summer craziness that typically engulfs the Okanagan, then check out this quiet little town. Another Corvette. This is quite the hairpin turn as it's a weird angle and uphill yet again. One of the things I like about the Okanagan is there's a lot of unique vehicles still driving around. And just a few minutes later we are on the backside of Winfield, where we will join the main highway and head back towards Vernon. This highway is wide and fast and will have us back beside Wood Lake and then over to Kelowna Lake before we turn into Vernon. Hey look, another Corvette! Instead of taking the main highway back to Vernon, we're going to swing onto the old highway and stop by the OKF Grill, which is really my favorite place to grab a burger and sit by the lake. I think that's the same Corvette from the highway, but he's made a friend. This is the town of Oyama, so a right turn will take you between Wood Lake and Kelowna Lake and to my favorite burger shop. This place gets crazy busy in the summer, so be sure to give yourself lots of time, and the food portion sizes are massive, but it's great to grab a burger, sit by the lake, and enjoy summer. Back on the highway we turn right to head back to Vernon, and what do you know, more Corvettes! I never realized how many people own Corvettes in this area. There are those that will tell you to avoid the highways and always find the back roads, but the highway between Kelowna and Vernon is spectacular, and it's well worth the trip. Don't be surprised if you're doing the speed limit and getting past like you're not even moving. Don't worry about it and just enjoy the view. Another thing I love about BC is they actually pay attention to motorcycles. You'll even find on some of the back roads, cars will move over and let you go by. Here we leave the highway and head on the back roads towards Predator Ridge, and another muscle car. Nice. Coming over this hill at night is absolutely beautiful with all the lights in the valley. Now we head back down the world's bumpiest road. And down the death road we go. Hopefully we won't meet anybody. You might not have noticed on the way up, but there's a nice 30-foot drop off on the side. Luckily we didn't meet any big trucks on the way down, but there's a big storm rolling in, so I need to get home. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for more videos.